Feeling lost, a little down, searching for peace in Lexington town. At the missing elements, wisdom you'll find for your body, your spirit, your heart, and your mind. Crystals gleaming, incense sweet, answers waiting, can't be beat. Find the missing elements to make your life better. The missing elements right here in Lexington, KY.
Hey there, guys, and welcome to the Missing Elements Remix Show. Coming to you live from the Missing Elements here at 1018 East New Circle Road, Lexington, Kentucky. 40505, Suites 112 and 114. And I do have sound, right? Okay. You know how mechanical stuff, me and mechanical stuff are. I break everything that's mechanical. So, let's jump things off here. Coming up, June 20th and the 21st is the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. And that is at 1165 Center Parkway, Suite 260. I will be there doing my sound healings. And which, speaking of sound healings, $10 from every sound healing is being put back until I can find a charity to give it to help stop suicide. Because I've yet to be able to get out and start looking for the right charity to donate to, because we run into a little financial difficulty and I can't run around town looking for these things. So, like I said, that's June 20th and 21st at 1165 Center Parkway. I will be there doing sound healings. Mechanics will be there doing their energy work. We'll both be doing card readings. We've also got other card readers. I'm not exactly sure who all is going to be there. Plinkies should be there with their wonderful... Plinky's Magical Creation should be there with their wonderful boxes, altar cloths, herbs. They have a wide variety of stuff. And they are a totally awesome group. Yes, they are. And which I really want to give them a shout out tonight, because they donated $50 to me and the boys here to help us buy food, because we ran into some major financial difficulties and they helped us out. So we have food. And I don't have to eat peanut butter. Which peanut butter is okay, but who knows? I'll still probably eat peanut butter anyway. Also, I don't think there's anything in July except for the Mystical Market, and I'm not sure the dates on that yet, but that'll be coming up soon. But August 8th is Mystic Night, a night of magic. And that's August 8th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that is 425 Victor Steer Drive, Milford, Ohio, 45150. If I can figure out a way to manage to do it, I can't work there, because honestly, it's a one-day event, and for me to drive up there and set up and then tear down and then drive back, and take 2 hours to drive back home, it would be like 1 a.m. by the time I got home. And I'm not getting a motel room in Ohio. Not at this moment. But it's the girls. It is the girls, I think it's Sending Shadows and the girls from Sacred Journey Market, Triple Goddess Gifts. They put on some wonderful events. I really wish they'd go back to the winery. I want wine. But speaking of Triple Goddess Gifts, their event is September 19th and 20th, and that is called the Sacred Journey Market, and it's the dark market. In which I need to buy me like special clothes for that market. But September 19th it is 1 to 8. September 20th is 11 to 5. And that is Holiday Inn and Suites, 4501 Eastgate Boulevard in Cincinnati, Ohio. That one I hopefully will be there. Mechanics will be there. Rocky Hounds will be there, which Rocky Hounds should be at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. I think Plinky's Magical Creations is going back to the dark market. So that event is going to be fun. Now, the biggest event of the year is Scarefest Weekend. And that's going to be held on October 23rd through the 25th. And that's going to be at Central Bank Center area in Lexington. Guests so far include Matthew Lillard from Scream and Scooby-Doo, which I really would like to meet him, but I'm not going to be able to. Roger L. Jackson from Ghostface, I'm assuming that's Scream. And Skeet Ulrich from Scream as well. And Jasmine Brown. You need to check out their website to get their full list of their celebrities. You can also check out their full list of vendors, because they will also have vendors there. I think Plinkies will be there. I know Spirit Mechanics will be there doing their energy work and energy healing. Also, Druzy Does It also goes to that event. Rocky Hounds won't be at that event because she always says that is normally her vacation weekend because she's usually there working. But me and Deb from Rocky Hounds are actually going to be working in Louisville at the Macabre Arts Tattoo Festival. Yes, a tattoo festival the same weekend as Scarefest. And that's going to be held at 830 Phillips Lane at the Crown Plaza Hotel. And that sounds like just as much fun as Scarefest. But I will be working that. So if you decide to drive up and check out the tattoo festival, please bring a little bit of extra money. I'll have a little pot I'll be carrying around to take donations so I can get me some ink. I want a tattoo. The last event that I'm going to mention tonight is the Yule Market. And that is put on by the girls that does Sacred Journey Market, Triple Goddess Gifts. And that's going to be December 12th and the 13th. The 12th is 11 to 5, the 13th is 11 to 4. And that's going to be held at the Clarion Hotel, 1950 Newtown Pike, Lexington, Kentucky, 40501. So yes, it's an eventful year. It's going to be a fun year. And hopefully I'll have new ink by the end of the year. Because I need to start working on this arm. I've only got one tattoo on this arm, and it's of a little 3-leaf clover. And I only got that because I had a scar that I wanted to cover up, and it was half price because I got it on St. Patrick's Day up in Ohio. So, yay, yay, yay. That's all the fun I've got for now. Oops, sorry. Mr. Producer, I screwed up. I forgot to fill up my water cup. And I'm almost out of water. So guys, if you don't mind, real quick, I'm going to grab me some water because I've been out walking because I've been trying to lose weight, and I'm trying to walk anywhere between 10,000 and 20,000 steps a day. So, if you'll give me just 1 second, I'm going to grab me some water. I am. Unmute me. Am I good? Yay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just a little bit thirsty. Water. It does the body good. In which I found out because I've been taking a class today online, and I'm going to do some testing, and I'll let you know if it works or not. I'm actually studying Ayurveda. So, it's sort of fun, but once I learn it, I will start teaching.
Feeling lost, a little down, searching for...
Oops. We sort of hit the wrong button over there. Okay, so what is... Oh, the latest is up. So, okay, guys. Enough of me. I need to get back on track. I don't get the dance? Fine. I guess y'all didn't want to see me dance anyway. Oh, that was something I was supposed to be doing. We never worked on that. We need to work on that. I promised people I would start working on vocal stuff. I guess I'll start doing. I guess I can start doing videos of me dancing as well. We can throw them up as shorts. And do we have a TikTok and Instagram? I'll put them on TikTok and Instagram, or we'll put them on TikTok and Instagram too. We'll try to show you how much fun we have around this place. And you should come see us. So back on track, because we are going to be diving into something that is a bit heavy, a bit beautiful, and honestly pretty terrifying if we are being completely real with each other. This is one rough topic that we all need to work on. That is including me. Ooh, what's the pretty background? Have I seen that pretty background? There you go, guys. Check out the pretty background. It's pretty. I like. But back to the topic. But we are talking about ego death tonight. And more importantly, what actually happens on the other side of it, which is what we normally call the awakening. So you can spend time on the internet. You can go to spiritual circles. You could read your psychology books. You've heard these words thrown around. And probably a lot. Because ego is a big subject. And even though they sound like they are coming from a fantasy novel or a trendy wellness retreat, we are not going to be preachy about it. Or I will try not to be preachy about it. I have a bad habit of, oops, sorry, I hit the mic. I have a bad habit of preaching. So, we're going to be talking about what this experience actually feels like when the floor drops out from underneath your life, guys. And who you are when this happens. And when there is no you left to defend. Because that's what this is all about, guys. You got to lose you to actually find you. So let's start. We're going to start out simple, and we're just going to start with the word ego. Because before we talk about it dying, we need to know what it actually is. So in everyday speech, when we say someone has a big ego, we mean they're arrogant or full of themselves. But in the context of consciousness and deep psychological growth, the ego isn't just vanity. It is your entire identity toolkit, guys. It is everything that is you. It is the story you tell. It is how you represent yourself. It is yourself about who you are. It is your name, your job, your title, your past traumas, your future anxieties, your likes, your dislikes, and that little voice in your head that constantly narrates your life, trying to keep you safe. You know, that little voice in your head that we very seldom listen to half the time. But the ego is everything you are. Like I said before I started, that part of you has got to die before you can truly find yourself. It is a master builder from the time you are a toddler, because at that point in time, it starts building a fortress. It looks at the world and says, okay, that part over there is separate from me, so I need to protect myself. Or I need to protect over here. It uses your memories and your social conditioning to construct a character. I mean, I totally honestly agree with that. I can honestly say I didn't have a good childhood. And I can honestly say I can be a bitch now. And I do have a ticker, right? Okay, I do have a ticker. It's up there. This is an 18 plus show. Yes, I didn't have a very good childhood. And I can honestly say I'm a bitch at times. But the ones I care about, I will try to protect, because I've been where they've been, or I've been what they're going through. I will try to protect them if they will allow it. Most of the times they don't, but that's their choice, not mine. So, like I was saying, it is your memories and your social conditioning to construct a character, your character, and you spend your whole life playing that character. Think of yourself as playing Seymour in The Little Shop of Horrors on the Broadway play, but you want to play the plant. That has to do with the ego. So you become the smart one, or the broken one, or the achiever, or the victim. Which is completely normal, guys. We do need an ego to function in society. Because it does help you pay your taxes, it chooses what you eat, cross the street without getting hit by a bus. Because it teaches you to look both ways before you cross that street. The problem isn't that the ego exists. The problem is that we completely forget we are the actor playing the character. And we start believing we are the character. I mean, that is ego. So now, what is ego death? Ego death is the moment the script catches fire. It is the sudden, often shocking realization that the character you have been playing your entire life is completely fabricated. So, the script catches fire. You're playing Seymour in the Little Shop of Horrors. You don't get away. You get eaten by the plant. The plant survives. He becomes the hero. That's not what happened in that play or that movie, whichever one you're watching. Your world has just been turned upside down. That is the dissolution of the psychological boundaries between you and the rest of the universe, guys. This can happen in a few different ways. For some people, it happens through intense meditation or spiritual practices. For others, it's triggered by a profound psychedelic experience. But for a lot of people, ego death is forced upon them by life. It comes in the form of a massive trauma like a sudden divorce. Or a loss of a career, or a severe illness, guys. It can be something as simple as you got a friend that no longer wants to talk to you. That is a sudden wake-up call. So, let's think about this. If you have spent 30 years defining yourself entirely by your career and suddenly that career is gone, who are you? If you defined yourself as a partner and that person leaves, who are you? When the external pillars holding up your identity get kicked out, the ego panics, guys. It feels like an actual physical death. Because to the mind, it's the end. It's the end of the story. It's the end of existence for you. And you know, if you've been through this, you know it doesn't feel peaceful at first. It feels like an absolute crisis. You might look in the mirror and literally not recognize the person. Whoa. I'm talking about purses over here. Is it Michael Kors that makes the purses? I don't know either. Sorry. But you may not actually know the person looking back at you. You might look at your life and feel like everything is fake. Like you're walking through a movie set. The things that used to matter to you, like getting promotions, buying nice things, or winning arguments, suddenly seem completely empty. Because honestly, I've been there, guys. When you're going through this, nothing else matters. It's like all hope is gone, but it's not. This is the dark night of the soul. This is where it hurts. It is the messy, painful, confusing phase where the old version of you is dead. But, and this is a big but, guys, The old version of you is dead. But there is a new version that hasn't been born yet. It's like you are suspended in a void. And the mistake a lot of us make during this phase is that we try frantically to rebuild the old fortress. We try to patch up the holes. We try to pretend everything is fine because the emptiness is too uncomfortable, guys. That is a problem that we all have. That is including me. We try to patch holes. We try to rebuild the past to pretend it's the future. But the thing is, guys, you all cannot stay in that void. We cannot stay in the void. Because if you stay in the void without running away, something incredible happens. And this is where we move from the death part to the awakening part. The awakening isn't about floating away on a cloud or becoming a saint who never gets angry. Awakening is simple, what is left over when the smoke clears, when the ego stops screaming. Because right now that ego is screaming for attention. And when you finally notice the silence that was underneath it the entire time, you start to realize that you are not the voice in your head. You are the one who hears the voice. You are not your thoughts. You are the space in which those thoughts appear. You are not your emotions. You are the ocean. And your emotions are just the waves rolling across the surface, guys. So, I mean, that is deep, guys. Because you're not who you think you are. You are actually something better. And when you realize this, it is an incredible freedom. You could try to imagine walking through life without having to constantly defend your reputation, or worrying about what strangers think of you, or stress about whether you are succeeding fast enough. One, don't worry about what other people think about you. You are you. You are your true self. Don't worry about others. And if your reputation is good, then why defend it? That's somebody else's ego that's trying to cause you problems. Because when the ego dies, the need to protect a fake identity dies with it. You stop trying to control the river of life and you finally just start swimming in it. Yeah, this script would have to bring up swimming. It's a good thing I like water now. And this is when you start looking at other people differently. When you realize that your own identity is just a constructed story, you see that everyone else is trapped in their own stories. You stop taking people's anger or judgment so personally. Like I said, don't let what people think about you worry you. You just be you. Because it is just their defensive ego trying to protect its own fragile fortress. And it breeds this massive, effortless compassion. Actually, I think it breeds a little bit more than that. Because if it's their defensive ego trying to protect its own fragile fortress, then they're going to come off as jealous, angry. They're going to come off with a lot of negative stuff. But when you find yourself, you don't have to force yourself to be kind anymore. It just becomes your natural state because you realize we are all made of the exact same fabric. So, you know, we are all made from the same thing. We are all energy, guys. We are all connected. So if you go through the bad thing with the ego dying and you finally find yourself and you don't try to defend and bring the old ego back and let something new begin, it may help somebody else. Because I think a lot of the spiritual teachers do people a disservice. Because ego death is rarely a one-time permanent event. You don't just have one big realization and then walk around enlightened forever. Guys, this is something that we all need to work on. And it doesn't happen just once. This will happen multiple times. So, the ego is incredibly resilient and it will try to hijack your awakening. It will sit there and say, hey, look at how spiritual I am now. Look at how detached I am compared to everyone else. That is just the ego wearing a new, fancier spiritual outfit. Like I said, this will happen more than once. You have got to learn when it's happening, how it's going to happen, and how are you going to survive it. Because ego death is a daily practice, guys. It is a continuous process of waking up, falling back, falling backwards. Basically, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's the easiest way to put it. 2 forward, 1 back. It's about noticing when you are getting defensive, when you are gripping too tightly to being right, or when you are letting a story from your past dictate your present, and then just choosing to let it go. Actually, guys, this is called shadow work. And shadow work is rough because you will come face to face with your ego. And you've got to tell it to go fuck off. Because it is terrifying to let go or to let the ego die. Because it means losing control. But it is also the only way to truly start living. You have to lose who you thought you were to actually discover who you are. So if you're out there right now and you feel like your world is falling apart, if you feel lost, or if you feel like you don't even know who you are anymore, I want to encourage you not to fight it. Don't try to rush to build the next fortress. Let the old structures crumble. Trust the void, guys. This all works when you're journaling. Write down your emotions. Write down what you are feeling. Write down what part of the ego has died. Because the version of you that is waiting on the other side of this collapse is more real, more free, and more alive than anything you could have ever imagined. Like I said, guys, the ego is rough. To see the ego die and feel the ego die, that is rougher. But you have got to let go. You've got to sit down and think about what caused it. Like I said earlier, if you've been in a job for 20, 30 years and now you don't have that job, that is a blow to the ego. I was told a story today that at one of the Walmarts, a door greeter had been there for like 20, 30 years. And they suddenly let all the door greeters go. So that poor door greeter no longer has a job. That is a blow to the ego. I wish that door greeter well, because I don't know how that feels. But guys, the ego death is just a part of life. And it's a fight every day. It's not a big fight, it's not a major fight, but it is a fight every day. And if you feel like you're going through this and you need somebody to talk to, please come by the shop. We can sit down and talk. I'm not a trained psychologist, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a poor little old sound healer. If you want a sound healing, that might help. We can find out what chakra is being blocked by the cause of this ego. And we can go from there. So, thank you guys. Take a deep breath, be gentle with yourself, and we will see you next time around. Love you guys.